Hey, good afternoon, Wabasha, Kanudagish, and Disnakas, Bo Kubrakovich. I am your host for MTN Live here right now, live on the web as well as YouTube and any other platform that we're at. I'd like to first off thank the Anishinaabe Goiden and First Nations and Treaty 2 Territory Government. We are a corporation through the eyes, of course, of the Anishinaabe Corporation Act, as well as we're using a little bit of a foundation of what Canada is up to in their Corporation Act. We are on our own. We do the news for the government of First Nations and Treaty 2 territory, what is happening in the Treaty 2 territory. And it's amazing that MTN Live is a great framework and a great platform for that. We are going to be giving some prizes away throughout on who's on. So message me, of course, live feed. Ask any questions that you'd like to ask, and we will certainly find the answers. We have two in the studio with myself, and this is great opportunity to showcase what we are doing as a government and what is happening as a government. So at this time I'd like to pass the great eagle feather to my first guest, and she will introduce herself. Miigwech.
Miigwech, bro. Kinyu nagigway dishnikaz. My government name is Lana Racette. I come from Penimutang Anishinaabe Nation, Treaty 2 territory. And I just want to share a little bit about myself. I started working for Treaty 2 2 days ago. So, and I'd also like to share that I'm married to Darren Racette, who's from Ebb and Flow, Anishinaabe Nation. And together we have a blended family of 9 children and 2 grandchildren. Today I wanted to speak about my wellness and well-being. And it's a personal journey. And I wanted to share that my wellness and well-being is, I'm on a healing path right now and doing considerably well. I play a busy role with my family and my work life. And I used to work with FNT2 about 1.5 years ago to care for my sick mother. Fortunately, she passed away 1 year ago. So part of my healing journey also includes mourning and grieving journey as well. So, and I also want to share that I'm a 3rd generation survivor of the Indian residential school system and also a day school survivor. Over the years, I had a great mentor, a former chief who I worked with for many years, and the best advice that he ever gave me is to never take my work home. So when I leave the office, I leave my work in the office so that I can contribute myself to my family as how they require. So I wanted to speak more on the role that I play within the FNT2 government. I was just recently hired as a regional office lead keeper and will be overseeing the regional office bundle, which consists of the management and direction of all the regional offices and the staff. I may be new to this position, but I'm not new in the area of promoting governance, as I've worked with FNT2T a couple of years ago. So I had some training in decolonizing my mind frame. I feel that in order to give to give your all in working in the area of promoting governance, we must begin to decolonize our minds and go back to Minopemadizuan. During my time with FNT2 back in March 2019 to October 2020, I had the privilege of working in the area of governance with our nations. I met with many grassroots people and the elders who had shared their own personal stories and teachings. They remember of how each of their nations were before the Treaty 2 agreements were signed, and how they remember is the oral stories and the teachings that were passed down generation to generation. And with that, with that, I feel so privileged that I have gained their knowledge of many of the stories and teachings from our nations.
Alrighty, well, excellent. Well, Miigwech, Lana, and welcome back on board. Only 2 days. Wow, that's amazing that you're able to sit here with us and compete against myself and Ron that have been here forever. Anyways, no, it's no competition. Of course, it's great that you're on board. You're going to do a wonderful job on regional offices, and of course, our regional offices are so important to us. They are the foundation and the link of course, to local nations. They got to get into the local nations, and the local nations need to use our regional offices. They're sovereign offices. They look at programs and services and infrastructures agreements. That will be agreements with local nations first, and then it's up to local nations if they want to use PTOs or tribal councils or service agencies outside of what we're offering. So as a government, so our goal, of course, is dollars come in, and then we get them to the regional offices. They get it over to the local nations to manage the program services and infrastructure through our laws. So with that, we have a wonderful guest in studio as well. He's been around mentoring me for over 40 years, but he's now with our government. He was with another government within our territory, Manitoba, and he spent some time there, but he'll tell you a bit about it, and then he'll tell you his link to his nation, as well as the Anishinaabe Nation, as well as of course what we're doing as a government. So with that, Ronnie Missyabit, Circles Keeper. So take it away, you're on.
My Christian name is Ron Missyabit, and I'm from, I call it Animuzibing, Dock Creek. Now it's known as Lake Manitoba. First of all, I'm still the director of the Care and Protection Natural World. I've not given that up because the land and the outdoor activities, land-based initiatives are very near and dear to my heart. I believe it's the foundation of who we are as Anishinaabe people. We come from the land and we belong to the land. And the land offers everything we need as Anishinaabe people to survive, to heal ourselves. And second of all, I recently took a new position within the government of FNT2T, and that's Circles Keeper. So I don't say manage, but I make sure I'm a conduit between Bo and the circles and the circles to Bo. And we try to meet every 2 weeks to talk about the activities of the circles. As far as wellness, I agree with Lana. We learned a long time ago from an elder that you got to separate work life from your personal life. And I'm not a believer in sending texts or emails or team chats after hours. I think we need to take that time to look after our families, to care for our families. And that's part of the philosophy I bring certainly to the circles. Yeah, I don't mean you don't send texts, but business, work, we need to get away from work once in a while to create that balance that we need for personal healing. A lot of the things that, as Bo says, I work for government. I worked for the provincial government for 18 years as a director of the Aboriginal Relations Branch in Manitoba Conservation. And I left about 2.5 years ago. And when I left, I came over to the government of Treaty 2 to kind of, I'd like to say, to use what I learned, how government operates, so we can have a better understanding, a better relationship with government. But that has not worked out because this provincial government has walked away from us. They don't want to work with us. They don't want to deal with us, and probably do not even recognize us as a government, which is something that we continue